Hi, I'm Ed Marsh. Welcome to this episode of Signals from the OP. On Signals, I talk about issues related to revenue growth and strategy that are going to impact industrial manufacturers more and more in the coming years. Today, I'm going to veer off the rails. Having just said industrial manufacturer, now I'm going to talk Madison Avenue. It may not have appeared on the radar of many folks watching this, but yesterday Ad Age released their 2018 State of the Agency report. And there's some interesting points in there that I think pertain. First, one of the main things they noted is that the majority of marketing and advertising work that's done now is digital. That's not a big surprise. We've talked about those kinds of issues on these videos before. I write about it, and many of the industrial manufacturing companies I speak to are well aware of it. They're shifting and reprioritizing budget. But it's an important validation of these trends that everybody's seeing. Secondly, agency revenue has stagnated. But in contrast to that, consultancy revenue has what Ad Age calls rocketed. So these are companies that actually come in and advise on digital marketing and sales and revenue growth strategies. So the trials and tribulations of agencies on Madison Ave may not be important to the folks in the industrial manufacturing world, but here's a couple of ways that I think it does directly pertain. I hear many of the same kinds of conversations happening with the middle market industrial manufacturers and SMBs that I talk to. These companies may not be talking about slashing billions of dollars from their marketing budgets like P&G's CMO that just got disgusted with wasting billions, literally billions of dollars on crap. But they're asking, can we do it more economically in-house? What happens if we get rid of this agency? What happens if we realign the agencies that we're working with? Maybe if we build it in-house, do we hire a consultant to come in and advise and coach on how to do it for optimized results? You see, when digital marketing was new, say 5 years ago, you could follow a very formulaic approach. 3 mediocre blog posts a week written around important key terms in your industry might have actually rocketed you to the top of the results. You could hire an agency to get that done for you. And that would save you having to bring in the social media and the web programming and the video and other kinds of talent in-house that you might need. But that's changed. First of all, that kind of talent is far more accessible. But secondly, today you need a really authoritative voice of your content. You have to have deep expertise and a lot of rigor in understanding the buyers and their challenges and the outcomes that they're looking for and how you help achieve them, not just talking about the features and benefits of your product. Of course, a few agencies have models where they source some freelance editorial contributors to industry journals that are conversant in the language, can kind of speak the industry lingo. But that doesn't solve for all the rest of what needs to happen besides content. Also, the agency's staffing and profit model really is contradictory to, in many cases, achieving best results for clients. Their model is really built on bringing in inexpensive, energetic, inexperienced talent, throwing them at projects that earn them high retainers, trying to wring out as much inefficiency, which there's a ton of it, trying to wring out as much of the inefficiency as possible and pocket the difference as profits. It's not a model that's really conducive for manufacturers that like to build stuff themselves and figure out continuously how to make the process more efficient. But the biggest commonality, why this Ad Age report I think is pertinent to industrial manufacturers, is this fundamental reality that marketing and sales fail without solid strategy. That's just the reality. And agencies don't have business and strategy chops. In fact, many agencies unfortunately don't have sales and marketing strategy chops. They're very tactical and in some cases efficient and knowledgeable about tactics, but it doesn't work in the absence of the context of an important strategy. So that's why the big 5 consultancies are winning enterprise business away from Madison Avenue agencies. And it's the same reason why SMBs in the manufacturing and industrial space find themselves increasingly having this discussion: do we insource or do we outsource to an agency? And if we do insource and we want to insource, then what kind of a resource can we find as a consultant or advisor or coach to help us make sure we're doing it well? You may be having the same kind of a conversation yourself internally or debating how you might proceed in the future. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about my experience and what I've seen works and doesn't work for industrial manufacturers. And if you like this kind of unorthodox look at key issues facing industrial manufacturing firms, then I'd welcome you to subscribe to these periodic video blog posts. You can do that at signalsfromtheop.com. I'm Ed Marsh. Thanks very much for joining me.